The disappearance and subsequent death of Jolissa Fuentes in Selma, California, a town often painted with the brushstrokes of idyllic small-town America, is a chilling, heartbreaking reminder of the vulnerabilities that exist beneath the surface of even the most seemingly secure communities. What began as a frantic search for a missing person on August 7, 2022, quickly devolved into a haunting, multi-layered mystery, punctuated by fragmented accounts, unsettling discoveries, and the agonizing, protracted wait for answers that may never fully come. The initial hope that Jolissa would be found alive, a hope desperately clung to by her family and friends, was cruelly extinguished in October 2023 with the discovery of her remains. While this brought a tragic, definitive end to the physical search, it simultaneously ripped open a new, even more profound chapter of unanswered questions, a gaping void filled with swirling speculation, unanswered calls, and the enduring, inconsolable pain of a family shattered by loss and a community grappling with the unsettling reality of violence within its midst. The Jolissa Fuentes case is far more than a local tragedy. It is a profound and disturbing mystery, characterized by a web of suspicious circumstances, deeply inconsistent accounts, and a lingering, pervasive silence that demands to be broken, a silence that screams louder than any words. This case serves as a stark, unforgettable example of how quickly and inexplicably a life can vanish, and how the painstaking, often frustrating search for truth can be obstructed by a complex network of unknowns. It highlights the critical, urgent need for continued, relentless investigation and the unwavering, uncompromising pursuit of justice. A justice that may be elusive but remains the ultimate goal. The publicly known facts of Jolissa Fuentes' disappearance, the skeletal framework of the official narrative, establish a basic yet profoundly incomplete and unsettling timeline. On the night of August 6, 2022, the 22-year-old, described by those who knew her as vibrant and full of life, attended a party, a seemingly ordinary, unremarkable event in the life of a young woman. She reportedly left the gathering alone, sometime around 4 a.m., a decision seemingly innocuous at the time that would set in motion a devastating chain of events, ultimately leading to unimaginable tragedy. A missed call to her brother, a fleeting, unanswered digital ghost in the early morning hours, represents one of the last known, verifiable communications from Jolissa, a poignant reminder of a connection severed too soon. She was subsequently seen, according to reports, at a local AM/PM gas station, purchasing an item, a mundane, everyday act that now carries a heavy, almost unbearable weight of significance. A final, fleeting glimpse of a life about to be tragically cut short. This seemingly ordinary sequence of events, a party, a late-night drive home, a quick stop at a convenience store, quickly unravels and disintegrates upon closer, more critical examination. The veneer of normalcy, the illusion of safety, shatters completely, revealing a tangled tapestry of inconsistencies, unanswered questions, and disturbing possibilities that cut to the very heart of this perplexing and deeply unsettling mystery. What truly happened in the crucial, unobserved hours between that seemingly insignificant gas station visit and the eventual discovery of her car? The silence surrounding that period is not merely deafening, it is suffocating, filled with a sense of dread and the gnawing suspicion that the truth, however terrible, remains hidden. The official narrative, as presented to the public through official channels and media reports, is riddled with gaping holes, points of conflict, and frustrating inconsistencies that elevate this case from a standard, albeit tragic, missing person investigation to something far more sinister, complex, and profoundly disturbing. First, and perhaps most crucially, are the starkly inconsistent and conflicting accounts provided by individuals who reportedly last saw Jolissa alive. These discrepancies, while specific details remain largely and understandably unreleased to the public to protect the integrity of the ongoing investigation, are significant and substantial enough to have fueled intense suspicion, speculation, and a growing sense of unease from the very outset. Were these inconsistencies deliberate, calculated attempts to mislead investigators, to conceal involvement, or to deflect blame? Or were they merely the product of faulty memories, the natural blurring of details in the aftermath of a traumatic event and the fog of a late-night gathering fueled by alcohol and fatigue? The answer, frustratingly, remains elusive, locked away behind a wall of silence and conflicting narratives. Second, the location and condition of Jolissa's car, discovered, state location and condition only if publicly released and confirmed by official sources, for example, abandoned in a remote rural area several miles outside of town, or parked inconspicuously with no immediately obvious signs of forced entry or a struggle, etc., raise further, deeply disturbing and as yet unanswered questions. Was the car deliberately placed there in a calculated attempt to conceal evidence, to mislead investigators, or to create a false narrative? Was there any evidence of a struggle, however subtle, however easily overlooked in the initial assessment, that might provide a crucial clue to the events of that night? Were forensic examinations thorough enough? These crucial details, vital to reconstructing the final hours of Jolissa's life and to understanding the circumstances of her disappearance, remain largely obscured, shrouded in a frustrating and agonizing lack of transparency, fueling the family's and the community's growing sense of desperation. Finally, the abrupt and complete cessation of Jolissa's digital footprint, her phone calls, text messages, social media activity, all silenced after a specific, crucial point in time, paints a chilling, undeniably disturbing picture of a sudden, potentially forced and undeniably tragic disappearance. In our hyper-connected, digitally saturated world, such a complete and utter digital silence is profoundly unsettling, speaking volumes in its absence. It strongly suggests either a deliberate, conscious attempt to erase her presence, to cut off all communication, or even more disturbingly, the actions of someone who had both the means and the motive to do so, someone who understood the power of digital silence in concealing a crime. Beyond the cold, hard, often incomplete facts and the frustrating inconsistencies within the official narrative, the perspective of Jolissa Fuentes' family provides a crucial, emotionally charged and deeply human lens through which to view this devastating and profoundly unsettling case. From the very beginning, from the moment they realized Jolissa was missing, her family expressed profound, unwavering and deeply intuitive concerns about foul play. A belief rooted not in speculation, but in their intimate, irreplaceable knowledge of Jolissa's character, her responsible habits, her strong family ties, and their instinctive, gut-wrenching assessment of the deeply troubling and increasingly suspicious circumstances surrounding her disappearance. They knew her, loved her, and understood her in a way that no investigator, however skilled, ever could. They knew with a certainty that defied doubt that she was not the type of person who would simply vanish without a trace, without a word to those she loved, without a fight. Their unwavering conviction, amplified and made public through their heartbreaking, often tearful pleas for information and assistance in countless media interviews and community gatherings, adds a layer of profound human urgency and desperate, palpable emotion to the investigation. They have consistently, courageously and tirelessly highlighted the discrepancies, questioned the official narrative, and relentlessly pushed for answers, acting as a powerful, unwavering and ultimately irreplaceable voice for Jolissa when she could no longer speak for herself, when her voice had been tragically and prematurely silenced. Their grief, raw, palpable and profound, coupled with their fierce, unwavering determination to uncover the truth, no matter how painful, underscores the immense, immeasurable human cost of this unsolved mystery, a cost that extends far beyond the immediate family to encompass an entire community. Their pain is a constant, poignant reminder of the stakes involved, a driving, unrelenting force behind the continued, desperate search for justice, a justice that feels increasingly elusive. The discovery of Jolissa Fuentes' remains in October 2023. A discovery that brought a wave of grief and a sense of tragic finality, while providing a definitive, heartbreaking answer to the agonizing, unbearable question of her whereabouts, simultaneously and paradoxically, deepened the profound, unsettling mystery surrounding the precise circumstances of her death. The discovery of Jolissa Fuentes' remains in October 2023, a discovery that brought a wave of grief and a sense of tragic finality, while providing a definitive, heartbreaking answer to the agonizing, unbearable question of her whereabouts, simultaneously and paradoxically deepened the profound, unsettling mystery surrounding the precise circumstances of her death. The location, in a remote, sparsely populated area outside of Selma city limits, raises further, deeply disturbing, and as yet unanswered questions about how she got there. Who, if anyone, might have taken her there, and what transpired, what horrors she might have endured in the crucial, unobserved hours and days following her disappearance from the party, a period of time now shrouded in darkness and unanswered questions. The location, in a remote, sparsely populated area outside of Selma city limits, raises further, deeply disturbing and as yet unanswered questions about how she got there, who, if anyone, might have taken her there, and what transpired, what horrors she might have endured in the crucial, unobserved hours and days following her disappearance from the party, a period of time now shrouded in darkness and unanswered questions. Was she taken there against her will, abducted and transported to this remote location? Was the location chosen strategically with deliberate intent to conceal evidence, to delay discovery, or perhaps even more chillingly, to send a message? While the search for Jolissa, the missing person, a young woman full of life and promise, ended in heartbreak, in the crushing weight of loss, the search for truth, for justice, for accountability had only just begun, entering a new and even more challenging phase. The confirmation of her death, though devastating and profoundly painful, did not equate to closure. It did not provide the answers the family so desperately craved. It merely and cruelly shifted the focus of the investigation from finding her alive, a hope now extinguished, to understanding the precise circumstances of her death, a task made infinitely more difficult, more complex and more urgent by the passage of time, the potential degradation or contamination of evidence, and the frustrating silence of those who may hold the key to unlocking the truth. The discovery brought a chilling, undeniable finality, a sense of irreversible loss, but it did not bring peace. It brought instead a renewed determination to find answers. The Jolissa Fuentes case stands as a stark, unsettling and deeply disturbing illustration of the inherent complexities and profound challenges involved in investigating disappearances, particularly when foul play is suspected, a suspicion that hangs heavy in the air surrounding this case, and even more so when the eventual discovery of remains leaves so many critical, life-altering questions unanswered, questions that haunt the family and the community. The glaring, irreconcilable inconsistencies in witness statements, the unsettling and suspicious circumstances surrounding the discovery of her car and the location of her remains, the abrupt and complete cessation of her digital presence, a silence that speaks volumes in the digital age, and the enduring, profound grief, unwavering determination and relentless pursuit of justice by her family all converge, intertwine and coalesce to paint a picture of a narrative that remains tragically incomplete, a jigsaw puzzle with crucial, vital pieces missing, pieces that may hold the key to unlocking the truth. This is not a closed case despite the passage of time. It is an open wound, a festering injustice, a constant source of pain and uncertainty. It is a powerful, urgent and morally imperative call for continued, relentless and exhaustive investigation, for a thorough and uncompromising examination of all available evidence, both old and new, revisiting every lead, re-interviewing every witness, and exploring every possible avenue of inquiry, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. It is a plea for anyone with information, however seemingly tangential, however seemingly unimportant, to come forward, to break the suffocating silence, to share what they know, to help piece together the fragmented fragments of this tragic puzzle. Justice for Jolissa Fuentes demands not only the identification of those responsible, if foul play is definitively confirmed, and it seems increasingly likely that it will be, but also a complete, unwavering and ultimately successful commitment to uncovering the full, unvarnished and potentially horrifying truth, ensuring that her story is not forgotten, that her voice, though tragically and prematurely silenced, is ultimately heard, amplified, and resonates throughout the community and beyond. Her family deserves answers. They deserve closure, however painful that closure may be, and they deserve the justice that has so far eluded them. The chilling, pervasive silence surrounding her death, a silence born of fear, of uncertainty, and perhaps of complicity, must be shattered completely and irrevocably, replaced by the unwavering, unrelenting, and ultimately triumphant pursuit of truth and justice. A pursuit that will not end until the full story of Jolissa Fuentes is known.